Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Is my strategy bad? Why can't I follow my own strategy? Do I not have an edge? I'm profitable for 3 days, then lose it all the next day. Feels like everything I do is wrong, so maybe I'd be better off flipping a coin. Do you find yourself saying things like this? More than 90% of traders fail because they don't realize that trading is 80% psychology and emotional control once you learn the basics. But you've known this for a while. So why do you keep repeating these same mistakes? How do you get past it? One solution is mindfulness. Not as a relaxation technique, but as a behavior modification tool for traders. The goal isn't to be calm or zen. The goal is to reshape the internal conditions that drive your trading behavior. When you understand how awareness changes impulses, emotions, and decision making, discipline stops being something you force and becomes something that emerges naturally. Mindfulness literally rewires the way that you think and react. Most discipline failures happen long before you're consciously aware of them. Emotional spikes hit the nervous system faster than the rational mind can respond. Impulses fire automatically. Stress narrows your attention and creates tunnel vision. And when volatility picks up, willpower collapses. Mindfulness works because it slows this entire chain reaction. It gives you the space to see what's happening internally before it turns into a mistake. Mindfulness trains 5 psychological capacities that map directly onto trading performance. First, attentional stability, the ability to stay with your plan instead of drifting into P&L watching or impulsive scanning. Second, emotional non-reactivity. You feel the emotion, but it doesn't hijack your execution. Third, impulse interruption, that tiny pause that stops you from chasing or oversizing. Fourth, interoceptive awareness, recognizing the body cues that signal you're about to make a mistake. And finally, cognitive flexibility, the ability to shift perspectives when the market contradicts your bias. These are the muscles that make discipline possible. Here's the core mechanism. Normally, trading looks like trigger, emotion, urge, and mistaken action sometimes. Mindfulness inserts a new step: trigger, awareness, choice, and proper or more reliable action. When you see the urge clearly, you're no longer controlled by it. You can evaluate it. You can let it pass. And over time, the urges themselves weaken because they're no longer being reinforced. Mindfulness directly targets the behaviors that cost traders the most money. Revenge trading, FOMO entries or missed entries, premature exits, oversizing, overtrading out of boredom, emotional spirals after a loss. These aren't discipline problems. They're awareness problems. When you can see the internal trigger early enough, the behavior never gets a chance to fire. So how do we set the stage for mindfulness trading? Before the market opens, you want to set the internal environment. I like to do this routine upon waking, before getting out of bed in the morning. Spend 2 or 3 minutes centering your breath. This lowers your baseline arousal and clears leftover emotional residue from the previous day. It also prepares your brain with needed oxygen. Breathe in for 5 seconds, then out for 5 seconds, focusing only on your breathing so that you can't focus on anything else. Clear your mind. Get into a meditative state. Do this for 2 or 3 minutes. Now it's time to deeply contemplate your areas of focus. No more than 1 or 2. Maybe patience, following your strategy. Whichever are your biggest areas of improvement, you pick. Check your emotional tone. Are you restless, anxious, overconfident, feeling negative? Name those feelings. Admit to them, not with judgment, but with optimism and confidence that you can manage those impulses. And finally, set your intention. Today, I'm going to follow the plan, not the emotion. Visualize your success like a professional athlete would. End with another minute of deep breathing. This routine puts you in the mental state where discipline is possible for the entire day. During the trading day, mindfulness becomes a real-time stabilizer. Before every entry, take a 5 to 10-second micro pause. Ask yourself, is this coming from my plan or from emotion? When you feel an urge to chase, to add size, to exit early, to enter early, observe it instead of acting on it. And after each trade, do a quick reset. Don't carry emotional residue into the next decision. You won't be perfect at first, but you'll catch a few mistakes almost immediately, today and this week, and you'll catch more over time. These micro interventions prevent the majority of impulsive mistakes. Urge surfing is one of the most powerful tools you can use. When an urge hits, notice it as a physical sensation. Label it. This is FOMO. This is my frustration. Breathe through the peak. Watch it rise, crest, and fall. Feel that. And once it fades, reevaluate the setup with a clear mind. Urges behave like waves. If you don't act on them, they lose their power over time. After the session, mindfulness helps you consolidate discipline into long-term habits. Journal mindfully, not to judge yourself, but to observe patterns. What internal states preceded good execution? What internal states preceded your mistakes? Reinforce the reward of disciplined behavior, and finish with a short decompression practice so you don't carry emotional residue into the next day. This is where the real behavioral rewiring happens. Maybe you've been thinking you'll beat this with the sheer force of your will. Willpower is a brute force strategy. It works until stress, volatility, fatigue, or temptation overwhelm it. Mindfulness is a systems level strategy. It changes the internal conditions that produce your behavior. When those conditions shift, discipline becomes the path of least resistance. Emotional spikes lose their power. Execution becomes cleaner, and consistency becomes sustainable. Mindfulness doesn't just prevent bad trades, it enhances performance. When your mind is calm and at peace, pattern recognition improves. You read the tape more accurately. You recover faster after losses. And you reduce cognitive failure, which keeps your decision-making sharp throughout the session. This is why so many elite traders use mindfulness as a competitive edge. Mindfulness is not a soft skill. It's a performance enhancer. It rewires the behavioral loops that determine your trading outcomes. Mindfulness leads to behavior modification, which leads to trading discipline. This is how you build a trading mind that can perform under pressure. Mindfulness is the real thing. Your assignment is to build your mindfulness practice. If you're feeling this is somehow too metaphysical or silly, get over it. Try it. Remember, what you've tried so far has not worked to your satisfaction. Search, do some reading, and determine which mindfulness techniques work for you. Mindfulness is a proven way to change your trading behaviors. Set a time before markets open and try the simple routine described earlier. Then take 10 seconds before each trade to refresh your earlier meditation. What have you got to lose?